Hello guys, MikuChibi here, welcome back to another Sword Line Factor, and today is a special day because today it is Sachi's birthday, so happy birthday to Sachi, and of course we also have her birthday banner which we're going to talk about in this video. So short about the birthday banner, it is a step up banner with 3 steps. Step 1 you have 3% off, step 2 regular price, and step 3 a guaranteed random Sachi skill. But also in step 2 and 3 you will see you have an increased drop rate for the future new Sachi skill 1.3% and 2.0. And the 2 new buff skill, we have 2 active skill, no passive this time. We have new chain and new full burst. Firstly, Big Charm Sachi, which is a spear wind chain skill. Okay. We have now 3 wind spear chain, which is kind of interesting. Power Beyond Peril Sachi, which is a full burst spear dark. Ooh, might be really useful for Chaos Shadow level 195, the Chaos Warden. Who knows? This one is available till the 20th February, so you have 9 days on you if you want to summon or not. The first skill we can have a look at is Freshly Baked Charm Sachi, Spear skill, Storm Shaft skill animation, 26 SP, Frozen Wind, 40-second cool time, 54 switch gate, and 27 breakage. Wow, that is pretty small. If you look on other change skill, they usually have higher switch gate, but this one 54? I don't know. I think they should actually increase this one a little bit more, like maybe 90 switch gate would be nice. 2660% damage AoE, it has wind pile buff, the wind element damage 1% per stack for 20 seconds, and if using switch you gain 9 stack instead of 3, really good support if you are utilizing stack. And if you're activating chain, you will get wind damage plus 50% when using wind skill, attack plus 1000 while the buff to raise wind damage is in effect. Pretty good buff here. So I would say these are really good support skills for wind build if you are doing that. Really good. Power Beyond Peril Sachi with a full burst spear with Shadow Assault skill animation, 40 SP, Frozen Dark, 50-second cool time, 65 switch gate, and 47 breakage. Not bad. You have 1680% damage, 5 hit AoE, Dark Element weak 4 debuff, Dark Element damage to enemy plus 25 for 10 seconds. Good. Dark Force 4, Dark Element damage 50% for 50 seconds. Okay, good buff and debuff here. If you want to use the burst, you need to do Dark Frost, Dark, Dark. But if you maximum break the skill, you will be removing this sequence here and only need to do Dark Frost, Dark. Very good. 50-second cool time, 65 switch gate, and 94 breakage. Okay, breakage is pretty good there. It does 4620% damage, 5 hit AoE. It has Dark Shadow Demon 5 buff, Dark Element damage 65% for 8 seconds, really high buff there. Bonus attack plus 2000 against enemy with a debuff status. Okay, pretty good bonus here and also a buff here, really good. And can activate without using SP. Alright, looks really good, really strong as well. And this is the first full burst dark for spear. So any spear main there you go, really good, definitely something you really want. And if you had the last year burst, you can combine it with this one. I think they're gonna have a really good synergy. Firstly, Baked Charm Sachi is a sword skill with higher damage multiplier increase after the moon breaking. Alright, I don't think you really need to do that. Step 1, you have 0.054% chance to get the ones you really want. And if you look at step 2, we have 0.65%. Ooh, and then 0.036 for the rest. Step 3, you have 1%, so 2% in total for the future. And if for guaranteed, you have 50% chance to get the guaranteed and 50% for the other chance to get something else. So, time to have a look on other Sachi skill. Here we have these many Sachi skill. Yes, there are many. I think there's about 85 Sachi skill in total. There are some free skills, so we won't include them in the gacha. So it is like what, 77 skill I believe that are in gacha. I also have added more stuff here and changed a little bit. So you can see we have chain on the top now, and then we have full burst, connect, axle, mod, awakening, burst. This is when they got released. So chain got released latest one, then full burst, then connect, then axle, the mod, the awakening, burst. So this is better categorized, I will say. And the skills that I put in this list, I consider them really useful, really good. Depends what job they are doing. If you see a Sachi that are not in this list right here, that means they are in the trash tier, which I consider not that really useful anymore. I mean, you can debate about that, but that is just my opinion. Like for example, we have some mod skill here, like water mod and earth mod. They are pretty much useless. I don't really care about that. Then we have more mods, but yeah, The skills that are on this list are considered a good one. These are ones that are really good at doing their job. Let's start with chain skill. We have 3 chain skill right now, and 4th with the birthday one, of course. So 4 Sachi chain spear skills. Yes, this one is really good. This is from the 7th anniversary, and it has armor DK, really useful, have really good switch gauge as well. So I think this can be really good in someone build, even put it in your connect skill if you want to. Then we have 2 buffer for element. We have 1 for dark and 1 for wind, really useful as well. Full burst, we have 3 more full burst, including dark ones. With the dark one, we have 4 Sachi full burst, and all of them is really good, of course. So we have 1 for wind, 1 for water, and 1 for earth. And they are really good as well for their specific element, really useful. Connect skill, we have 2 one. One is debatable, decent, I would say, but to be honest, the only thing I really hate about this one is because it has long animation, 10 hit, I believe. But it does a job where it is increasing the break gauge on its connect chain, which is kind of useful nowadays. And we have something that is much better, which is this non-Sachi. This non-Sachi is really good. I believe it gives armor DK, but not only that, on the connect chain, it gives you HP back for each skill hitting, really useful. And also, if you're equipping Kirito skill, you're also increasing the break gauge on the enemy, which is really useful. So you have 3 effect in 1 connect skill, really good. I like this one, I wish I had it, but too bad Bandai doesn't like me. So, access skill, we have some really good access skill here. We have 1 for armor DK, really useful. Then we have 2 stigma, 1 is dark, 1 is water, and both of them, you can use both of them to increase stigma stack really fast. Then we have 2 element buffer, 1 for fire and 1 for holy, really good. Next we have mod skill. Yes, I know mod skill isn't that really useful anymore at the moment because full burst have taken over the job as a full damage dealing, and you prefer using full burst than mod skill. But hey, if you don't have full burst, you can still use the mod skill, which is fine, but it does require you to have some fodder to put in your mod skill. We have some decent, I will say. We have a wind element, we have earth element, fire element, and water element. I believe there are better alternative, but for now I would say they are good for Sachi, especially for Sachi. But if you have full burst, please use that instead of a mod skill. that is the only thing I can say. Awakening skill, we have 4 support skill that I think is really good that you can have in the set. We have this big Sachi, which can be really useful in any spear build for any element. It has attack buff and also reducing enemies hit rate, which can be really useful. Then we have 3 element buffer. We have 1 that is buffing fire element. Then we have a holy element buffer, and then we have dark element buffer. So if you are building a fire build, then you definitely want this one. A holy build, then you want this one, and a dark build, then you really want this one. So really good support skill. Burst skill, we have 3 burst skill that can be really useful somewhat, and then we have the ones that doesn't damage. So the first one is this one. This Sachi Spear has been really good when it comes to increasing break gauge because it has a high break value, and a lot of endgame players are using it for the frost endgame content because you want to break the enemy real early. So this one has been really useful. It's adding up the break gauge to the enemy, and you can break the enemy faster by that. So it is a still really good burst skill, even though it's really old. I believe this one got released 2019. It is really old, but still really useful. Then we have this one. This one is debatable, depends how you want to use it. But when it comes to water content, especially endgame content where you have to survive and stuff, I can see this one can be useful, but you don't really need it. I use adding it because I'm using it. I think it can be useful. At the same time, you can also put this one in the trash tier where you don't really need this one. Then we have Dark Burst. This is a burst skill that got released last year. We didn't know where we could use this other than use Chaos Showdown level 195, but nowadays when we have the floor 19, we can use this one. Can be really useful as well. With the birthday full burst, if you combine this one with the birthday one, you have a really good spear set then. Next is the fodder. We have some really good fodder. For example, this one, if you're applying element, then you will get 300% crit rate, which can be really useful in some content if you are able to crit. This one is situational, where you want to remove the defense debuff where the enemy is applying that, which can be really annoying, but this one will help to remove that, which somewhat can be helpful, but sometimes you don't really need this. It really depends when you want to use this one. This one is used for support where you want to remove this D-stack, that's all. Then we have a wind focus. Then we have this one. This is just a generic fodder where you can use in any spear mod that you want to use. This one is a spear mod, but I just putting here because I'm considering it as a fodder right now. There's a better alternative when it comes to wind spear mod. So this is actually used as a mod fodder for now. Then we have 3 amazing fodder that cost 3 slots to equip. One is focus earth, one is focus fire, and one is focus dark. Really useful. Pass skill. We do have few Sachi skills that are decent passive and really good one. For example, we have this one. This one gives defense, really good for sword build, but there are better alternative out there. But if you don't have any better and you have this one, then you can equip this one. Next, we have this one, which is for blunt DPS. You can use it, but there are better alternative that is much stronger than this one. We have a Power Rise 4. I believe this is the first Power Rise 4, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, which can be really useful. So if you're missing a Power Rise, then you have a chance to get this one. I believe this one is in general, so you have a chance to get this in general as well. Next is this one. I don't remember the effect, but it is something with combination where you switch damage deals more damage. So it can be really useful in chain build, for example. And also it has a hold the font, so you can also get healing and also you gain a switch gain, which can be really useful as well. So I think this passive have somewhat of potential in future build. Next passive, we have the one that you really want to equip with is the King of Spear. Really good, it gives a high flat attack and also other stuff which can be really useful. And then we have this one. This is a full burst pass skill. I don't really like this one because it's trash, but if you don't have anything better full burst, then you can use this one. I guess it's fine. Otherwise, I will actually put it on trash tier. For rings, we have 2 rings that we can equip on your EX ability. We have one that is reducing poison damage 30%, can be somewhat useful. And then we have this one that has 50% frostbite resistance, if I remember, which can be useful, but we do have the free Asuna skill, Charming Lady, which has 100% frostbite resistance if you max limit break the Asuna skill. So you have better alternative, but if you do have this one and don't have max the Asuna yet, then you can still use this one, can be really useful. So yeah, that was all Sachi skill. I don't want to really talk about the other Sachi skill, but hey, if you want to add something, go ahead, leave a comment about it, but I think the rest of the Sachi is pretty much trash. Now, the question is this banner worth the sunload? It really depends. If you like spear, then this banner is definitely perfect because Sachi has so many spear skills that is benefiting for you. There's some really good one, really good support as well. You also have some support skill, for example, Mob Braid Sachi, really good support where you want to stack Stigma. And Stigma is a really good debuff on the enemy. So there's something you can get here. So there are some really good Sachi skill here. So it really depends if you need any of these Sachi skills that I mentioned. Some are good, some are bad, some you don't really need. It really depends. If you are a spear main, I will say this is definitely a perfect banner for sure. But if you're a person that doesn't like to use spear and doesn't really need spear, then you can pretty much skip this banner and save for future banner. That is okay. New players, like I said before, if you like to use spear, then this banner is definitely worth it. But if you like to use sword or any weapon, then skip this one. Save your congens for better banner that is focused on those weapons that you really want to use. Overall, I will say the birth skill, the 2 new birth skill looks pretty good, really good support skill, and definitely this one. This is something Spearmain have been waiting for, a full burst dark element, because last year they only got the regular burst, but now we have a full burst. So really excited to hear some of the Spearmain if they're really happy with that. A good birth banner for Spearmain, and the rest that doesn't like the spear, you can pretty much save your con gems. So yeah, that is for me. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Take care now, and bye bye.